In a world where moral codes are as varied as the cultures that espouse them, Friedrich Nietzsche stands out as a philosopher who dared to dismantle the very foundations of traditional morality. Imagine living in a society where your ethical beliefs are questioned at every turn, where good and evil are not binary opposites, but rather a spectrum of human experience. Nietzsche's provocative ideas invite us to reconsider the origins of our values, challenging us to move beyond the simplistic dichotomies that have governed moral thought for centuries. This essay delves into Nietzsche's critique of conventional morality, exploring how his radical philosophy not only seeks to understand morality's roots, but also encourages us to forge our own paths in a world that often feels dictated by outdated moral frameworks. At the unfolding journey, we embark on an intellectual exploration of the ideas that have shaped our world. Whether you're a seasoned philosopher or a curious newcomer, our channel invites you to delve deeper into the thoughts that challenge the status quo and expand our understanding of existence. Through engaging discussions and insightful analyses, we aim to illuminate the complexities of philosophical inquiry, making these profound concepts accessible and relevant to our everyday lives. Join us as we navigate the landscapes of thought, uncovering the layers of meaning that lie beneath the surface of our shared human experience. Friedrich Nietzsche, 1844 to 1900, is often celebrated as one of the most influential thinkers of the modern era. His work, particularly Beyond Good and Evil, serves as a scathing critique of traditional moral values rooted in religious and metaphysical beliefs. Nietzsche argues that these conventional morals stifle individuality and creativity, promoting a herd mentality that limits human potential. He asserts that moral values are not absolute truths, but rather constructs shaped by historical, cultural, and psychological factors. Nietzsche famously declared, "God is dead," a statement that reflects his belief that the Enlightenment and the rise of scientific rationality had eroded the foundation of religious morality. Without a divine moral authority, Nietzsche contends that humanity must confront the existential void left in its wake. This prompts a re-evaluation of what it means to live a moral life, as traditional guidelines no longer provide answers. Nietzsche's work challenges us to recognize that morality is not an inherent part of the human experience. Rather, it is a series of values imposed by society. By critically examining these values, Nietzsche urges us to embrace a philosophy of life that prioritizes individual will and self-creation over externally imposed moralities. One of Nietzsche's most crucial concepts is the will to power. This idea transcends the mere struggle for survival or dominance. It is about the intrinsic drive within individuals to assert themselves, to create meaning, and to transcend limitations. Nietzsche posits that all human actions stem from this fundamental desire to exert one's influence over the world. In this light, morality is not about adhering to rules, but about the expression of one's unique perspective and values. Nietzsche contrasts this with what he terms slave morality, a moral framework that arises from the resentment of the weak towards the strong. In slave morality, values such as humility, meekness, and self-denial are celebrated, while strength, power, and nobility are demonized. This inversion of values serves to stifle the will to power, leading individuals to suppress their instincts and desires. For Nietzsche, true morality arises from the recognition of one's own potential and the courage to embrace it. This perspective not only liberates individuals from societal constraints, but also encourages a more authentic expression of humanity. By embracing the will to power, individuals can move beyond the confines of traditional moral systems and forge their own ethical paths. To further explore his philosophical ideas, Nietzsche introduces the concept of eternal recurrence, a thought experiment that challenges individuals to evaluate their lives critically. He asks us to imagine living our lives repeatedly in exactly the same way, with all its joys and sorrows, over and over again for eternity. This idea serves as a litmus test for our choices and values. If one would be willing to relive their life exactly as it is, it signifies an affirmation of one's existence and the choices made. However, if the thought of eternal recurrence brings dread, it may indicate a need for change. This radical examination of life compels us to live authentically, to create our own values, and to embrace our experiences without succumbing to societal pressures or moral expectations. Through the lens of eternal recurrence, Nietzsche urges us to take responsibility for our lives, encouraging us to reflect on our decisions and to live in a manner that aligns with our true selves. This call to authenticity resonates deeply in a world where individuals often feel disconnected from their values and purposes. In Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche confronts the dogmatic nature of traditional moral systems. He argues that these systems are often rigid, promoting conformity and suppressing dissent. Nietzsche advocates for a more fluid understanding of morality, one that recognizes the diversity of human experience and the multiplicity of values. By rejecting the absolutism inherent in traditional morality, Nietzsche opens the door to a more nuanced approach to ethics. He encourages individuals to question established norms, to engage in critical self-reflection, and to explore the depths of their own beliefs. This journey of self-discovery can lead to a richer, more fulfilling existence, as individuals craft their own moral frameworks based on personal experiences and insights. Nietzsche's critique also extends to philosophers who uphold rigid moral doctrines. He challenges the notion that philosophy should provide definitive answers to ethical questions. Instead, he suggests that philosophy should serve as a tool for exploration, fostering a spirit of inquiry rather than dogmatic adherence to preconceived notions of right and wrong. Central to Nietzsche's philosophy is the concept of the Übermensch, or Overman. The Übermensch embodies the ideal individual who has transcended conventional morality, creating their own values and living authentically. Nietzsche presents the Übermensch as a response to the challenges of a world devoid of absolute truths, urging humanity to rise above mediocrity and embrace the potential for greatness. The Übermensch is not merely a figure of power. Rather, they represent a new way of being that embraces creativity, individuality, and self-overcoming. This ideal serves as a counterpoint to the herd mentality that Nietzsche critiques, challenging individuals to strive for excellence and authenticity. In a society often characterized by conformity and superficiality, the vision of the Übermensch serves as an inspiring call to action. It encourages us to embrace our uniqueness, to question societal norms, and to pursue our passions with vigor. By aspiring to become our own versions of the Übermensch, we can reclaim our agency and shape our destinies. Nietzsche's ideas have had a profound impact on modern philosophy, psychology, and the arts. His challenge to traditional morality resonates today, particularly in discussions surrounding ethics, identity, and authenticity. As society grapples with questions of meaning and purpose, Nietzsche's call for individual self-creation remains relevant. In an age where cultural narratives and moral frameworks are constantly evolving, Nietzsche's emphasis on critical self-reflection and personal agency encourages us to navigate the complexities of our existence. His work invites us to explore the richness of human experience, acknowledging that our values may not be universal, but rather deeply personal. Moreover, Nietzsche's critique of dogmatism serves as a reminder of the dangers of rigid moral systems. In a world where ideological divisions often lead to conflict, his philosophy urges us to cultivate an open-minded approach to ethics, fostering dialogue and understanding among diverse perspectives. Friedrich Nietzsche's exploration of morality in Beyond Good and Evil invites us to challenge the foundations of our ethical beliefs. By questioning traditional moral frameworks and embracing the will to power, Nietzsche encourages us to forge our own paths and create meaning in our lives. His vision of the Übermensch serves as a beacon of possibility, inspiring us to transcend mediocrity and strive for authenticity in a world often characterized by conformity. As we navigate the complexities of modern existence, Nietzsche's ideas remind us of the importance of critical self-reflection and the courage to live authentically. In doing so, we can engage in a continuous journey of self-discovery, crafting our values and shaping our destinies. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Nietzsche's challenge to traditional morality. If you found this discussion thought-provoking, we invite you to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey YouTube channel. Together, let's continue to delve into the ideas that shape our understanding of the world and inspire us to think critically about our own lives. Join our community of thinkers and explorers as we unfold the complexities of human experience, one philosophical inquiry at a time.